thank you so much for joining us today. You are Aramco's Director of Cybersecurity Protection, and in this session we will be talking about defending artificial intelligence with intelligence. So can you first tell us why AI needs to be defended?
First of all, I'd like to thank you, Florence, and to thank the organizers of the Adapt AI for having me here and for having us on the warmest main stage, I would say. It's truly an honor to be among the brilliant minds who are shaping the future of AI. I believe, Florence, you have asked the most important question that any AI owner would like to answer and to know the answer for, because by knowing that answer, we would know why it is important to go ahead and secure our artificial intelligence. And simply put, and the most straightforward answer to that question is that by defending AI, we are defending our most valuable asset, which is our data, because it's dealing with it. So where we want to go from there is about the fact is what kind of attacks could happen to our assets. By introducing AI, then we are introducing a new threats to our data. So what are the kind of attacks to that? Let me give you two major examples. One of them is the data poisoning attack. Through that attack, imagine what would happen if an attacker would manage to corrupt the data based on which an AI model is handling the safety of a facility operations. And that's mostly with agentic AI. Another thing would be the prompt injections. What would happen if an attacker would manage to steal some data by prompting some injections into the LLMs? And we have seen things go viral on the internet where attackers were able to obtain some activation license for licensed services just by applying this attack. So simply put, by defending AI, we are defending our data, and that's why it's important.
Thank you. And so what does it mean to defend artificial intelligence with intelligence?
That's another good question. I believe today we hear a lot of buzz about how AI is changing the way that we are doing our business and how AI could bring new attacks to us. And when we speak about cybersecurity in specific, AI is actually bringing new challenges, but in the same time, it's opening up new fronts of how we can do cybersecurity capability defenses. But here is the very most important thing. The foundation, the basics of cybersecurity should and will remain the same. Yes, there will be new strategies that we have to shape to look into the unique risks of AI. But the core principle of how we do vigilance, how we do layered protection, how we care about human judgment, these are key principles that will continue all over the way. So defending intelligence, defending AI with intelligence means that we have to rely on our human capital intelligence and to rely on the past experiences and the past expertise that we have collected over the years on protecting our digital assets. All of these together, leveraged by the power of AI, then definitely we can have the right intelligence to defend our AI.
Thank you. So you mentioned that there are some AI-specific strategies that are needed out here. And so can you cite some of the effective strategies you know to defend AI?
Absolutely, Florence. So as you mentioned, or I stated earlier, strategy is not a single strategy, because it's not only about one thing. We are talking about a layered strategic approach. And this is the philosophy that we in Saudi Aramco are applying under the Eye on AI program, which is meant to defend our AI cybersecurity. This program has a nucleus within it that relies on the core cybersecurity defense functions that we know of: identification, protection, detection, response, and recovery. And within these core responsibilities, we have to adapt them to the unique risks of AI. And this is where the layers of the strategic has to come. So the first layer above that nucleus comes the AI supply chain security. Through that, we make sure any kind of AI model that we bring from our third parties is free of compromises, is free from any kind of alterations, and once it's in production, it's continuously monitored for any kind of vulnerabilities. Then comes the layer of the security by design, and I believe this is one of the most important layers in defending AI, because if our AI developers who are managing the AI models that we develop in-house have the security in mind, then definitely security will be embedded within those systems before they go in production. And then comes the third layer, which is the runtime security. This is where our security operations centers have to look into the AIs, how they behave or misbehave, look for anomalies, and also where we have to do the red teaming exercises against these models in a manner that will enable us to identify the unique risks of such models. And this whole program is encapsulated through two important things: innovation and research, and another important thing is governance, to make sure that things are in perspective. The entities across the AI lifecycle are all accountable of what they are doing. By doing so, we achieve that program. And if I gave you an overview of the Eye on AI program, but to have a better overview, please visit the booth of Aramco there, where you will have my colleague Umar Al-Harbi and Misha'al to give you a very in-depth ideas about it.
Thank you. So if I remember well, 3 layers: good, secure supplier, secure design, and secure runtime. That's a lot to think about. So what are some of the practical steps you can give to security teams here to take control and close security gaps that are exposed by AI?
So honestly speaking, this is a very important question, and I would like to share with you 2 practical examples on this regard. The first one is related to the fact that recently within the news we have seen how some threat actors have managed to launch automated cyber attack against a number of organizations, where that attack, 90% of it was executed by the AI itself. Such news, Florence, is telling us what? It's telling us that we, as an organization, if we have not planned it yesterday, then we have to plan it today, to go ahead and target autonomous security operations. Through such autonomous operation, we will enable our cybersecurity task forces today to cut the noise around them and to be focused on critical operations. So that means autonomous operation is a target, but there is a very important thing as well. It will not simply replace our cybersecurity workforces. It will augment it. And let me give you an analogy to assert in this problem. This analogy is related to the aviation industry, and I'm bringing aviation industry because it's a safety critical mission industry. And we are security, and both safety and security are 2 sides of the same coin. In the aviation industry, when commercial flights started long years ago, the whole flight would have to be operated by a human pilot and co-pilot, 100% of it. Today, I traveled from Riyadh to Paris. 98%, I can assure you, of this flight was managed by whom? The autopilot. Yet, we still have a human pilot and a co-pilot. The same thing applies to cybersecurity. Autonomous operation is there to augment our cybersecurity teams, not to replace them. The other practical thing is related to the security by design. I want to assert on that. Our teams, our cybersecurity teams, should make sure that the awareness about the fact that cybersecurity of AI models is not the sole responsibility of cybersecurity teams. It's a shared responsibility among all entities on the pipeline of the AI model. So if our AI developers have security in mind, then we will be able to move things to production secure. And that's not only important for cybersecurity. It's also important for IT, and my great leader, Mr. Sam Al-Admi, would love to hear this. Agility is very important when it comes to cybersecurity. If our AI developers have cybersecurity in mind and design and implement the AI models with security guardrails on them, then what would happen? We as cybersecurity team, when we receive them, we will not have a lot of comment. We will send it to production all the way. So autonomous operations to augment the cybersecurity task forces, and to have AI developers as the first line of defense through security in mind are two practical steps I'd always advise people about.
Well, that sounds like a big program. We were joking earlier that we might need to open AI for cybersecurity next year at Grand Palais. Can you provide our audience some final thoughts and key takeaway on AI security?
I would say the final takeaway would come from the audience themselves. When I look at our esteemed audience of the Adapt AI, I see AI vendors, I see AI developers, AI regulators, AI consumers, AI cybersecurity experts, and AI entities represented by the government. In other words, we are looking at the key players who can work collaboratively together in a much faster manner, in a way that will enable us to elevate the power of AI in the cybersecurity field, where we can outperform our threat actors over there. And with that, I'd like to leave you with a quote by the President and CEO of our company, Aramco, Mr. Amin al-Nasser, a quote that he has mentioned at the Global Cybersecurity Forum, which takes place annually in Riyadh, in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, where he stated, "To beat a network, we have to be a network." Thank you.
Thank you very much. We hope to see you next year at AI for Cybersecurity.
My pleasure. Thank you, Florence. With you. Appreciate it.